We left Colorado and set off for a 9-day overlanding adventure in Utah. We have been looking forward to this trip for a year. It is late afternoon and we're on Gemini Bridge's trail. Our plan is to camp one night in Moab and then head to southern Utah and explore some of the areas that we've never seen before. Toward the end of the 9 days, we plan on coming back through Moab and camping on at least one more trail in this incredible area. But shortly after we hit the trail, the engine died. We blew a fuel pump fuse, and then another, and another, and another. You saw us break down in Bonanza, Colorado with the same exact problem, though we didn't really know it at the time. We had to be towed off of that trail. By the time that night was setting in, we had blown 6 fuses and we only had one left. At this point, we just wanted to find a place to camp for the night and then problem solve the next morning. Needless to say, this was not a good start to our 9-day trip. But thankfully in October in Moab, it is packed full of 4x4s, and we are so grateful for those people that we met along the way that were willing to help us out. Okay, so that Jeep you just saw, we are tailgating because we are tethered together. And we're not towing them from the rear, they're towing us from the front. We're out in Moab on Gemini Bridge's trail. We were looking for a place to camp. We kept blowing fuses on our fuel pump. We have had this fuel pump problem before, if you recall, over in Bonanza, Colorado, and now thankfully these guys pulled up. Some super awesome guys came up in 4 different kind of vehicles, some Toyotas, and this guy in the Jeep is who's pulling us right now. And let's roll these windows up, it's getting dusty. And so we're broken down in Moab, Utah, a long way away from home. I have no idea what we're gonna do, but these guys are at least getting us off the trail, and then we're gonna figure out, buy a bunch of fuses, get a tow truck, find a mechanic. I have no idea what we're doing, but I've said it before. I said it last time we broke down on a trail, and that was not that long ago, that it's an older vehicle, and it's definitely showing some age and some wear, but once again, the kindness of the people out on trails is just blowing our minds. So we're just thankful. We're so thankful. All right, so we got towed down off of the trail. We're at a parking lot near the trailhead. It's like this really dusty dirt parking lot right out of, what is it, 191 or something?
I don't know, whatever that road is.
Yeah,
Moab.
I don't know. So we're at like a $30 a night picnic table in a patch of dirt that we are at now. We're gonna eat some cereal. Bailey, look, this is what we're having. Box of cereal, that's dinner tonight. Coming down off that mountain, I was riding the brakes so hard you could smell the brakes, but the Jeep that was towing us, I certainly didn't want to rear end him in the strap. We had about 12 feet of strap between our front bumper and the back bumper of the Jeep. So that was very much nerve-wracking, kind of got some leg cramps coming off there. We were over 5 miles on the trail, and it was just all up and down, up and down. Just trying to keep tension on that strap was really rough. I don't know. We got some serious considerations to make. We got this older vehicle. This is twice now in the past 4 weeks we have been towed off of a trail, and we've really enjoyed this vehicle. I don't know what to do though. I don't know if the new Wrangler tows enough. We want to get a trailer. I don't think the Wrangler Rubicon tows that much. Maybe the new Bronco. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, but we can't keep breaking down on trails. It's nerve-wracking, it's frustrating, and we've had this Utah, Tour de Utah, a 9-day Utah trip that is now pretty much in jeopardy because we were just flat broken down, and we're not going on another trail until we have the electrical issues in this H3 figured out, because we just can't keep breaking down. We can't keep having this problem. So I think it's somehow get back home, get this thing in the shop, and stop breaking down on trails. It's so tough. But now it's time for dinner. You ready, baby? Eating some dinner? Are you doing okay? You doing all right? All right, let's eat some dinner. After a very noisy night's sleep, we started to make a plan. We called every mechanic in Moab that we could think of, but
They were all booked up for at least a week because this time of year the weather's perfect and there's 4x4s everywhere, and we're not the only ones breaking down. So we're not getting repaired in Moab anytime soon.
Okay, so we had some sleep last night. We're right next to 191, that is kind of like one of the main roads leading you down into Moab, and it's pretty noisy. But it's a pretty level site here in this, it's kind of like a campground. It's more like just a parking lot for people to use to access all the trails that are behind us. There's about 5 or 6 major Moab trails that are behind us, none of which we'll be enjoying. But we kind of had a revelation last night that we would never overland again in this vehicle, this Hummer H3. But then this morning we did some research and some talk, and we looked at the Toyota 4Runners. We have internet access here, so we're able to look at what they have. Good towing capacity, though I don't think it's really the right vehicle for us. We looked at the Rubicon, the Wrangler Rubicon. Doesn't have the towing capacity. We want to get an overlanding trailer, and they tow 3,500 pounds, and that is what our trailer's probably going to weigh, so that's maxed out. Probably not the right vehicle for us. The Ford Bronco, the brand new Ford Bronco, is all the rage, right? 3,500 pound towing capacity, which I don't understand on a brand new, reinvented, overlanding, off-road type of SUV, but it is what it is. We would like to get a Humvee at one point, but Humvees, to get one really restored out and modified to make it really awesome, roadworthy and trailworthy, you're looking at 80,000 bucks. That's a lot of money. We're going to take our H3, this is our current thought, and beef it up. Beef up the suspension, get a long travel suspension put on it, change out the transmission, get a 6-speed transmission on it, and of course fix the electrical stuff that's going on with it, which probably isn't a major deal. It's just a pain when you're broken down on a trail. So these are our thoughts right now. Let us know if you have any thoughts. We need to be able to tow comfortably 3,500 pound trailer on a trail. So we want to have at least 5,000 pound towing capacity. We want to have good wheel travel. We want to have better transmission than an old 4-speed 2008 transmission, something that's going to be better fuel economy, better trail, better on road, better on mountain passes on the I-70 when we came out here. All of those things. If you know of the right vehicle, let us know. I don't think there's a perfect vehicle that's not going to cost a tremendous amount of money, but nonetheless, the guys that pulled us out last night had a nice Wrangler with a beefed up suspension, but it was at 4-wheel low on that trail pulling us out last night. He was in 4-wheel low at about 3,000 RPM to pull us out of there, and that thing was working really, really hard. But this is a heavy H3, so that makes sense. I'm kind of rambling here, waiting on breakfast. Natalie's cooking behind us some biscuits, some eggs, and some sausage. We want to do this full time, maybe. I mean, not this full time, but the overlanding lifestyle is what we really love. We just like to do it in something that's not going to break down on us. Again, and again, and again. We'll see. It's breakfast time.
Do you want one of these biscuits while I'm finishing breakfast? Good?
Can you do my idea?
What's your idea?
The camp out downstairs.
All right, so this is what we know so far. The front end on this thing, as much as we've done to it, we've done the steering rack, heavy duty tie rods, what else have we done? CV axle we've replaced, bushings or whatnot. There's still something rattling under there. We've had it looked at by a bunch of different guys. It still rattles, something is loose. We got to get that fixed. Don't know what it is. And then also we know that electrical wise, we keep blowing fuses for the fuel pump. Put one in, if we hit a bumpy road or a steep bumpy road, trail, not road, we're blowing, so there's something in the wiring that's causing a short because we keep blowing fuse after fuse after fuse. Just on that trail yesterday, we blew 6 fuses before we got down to our last one, and then the guys towed us off. We used that last fuse to get us over here to this little camp spot here down at the trailhead. So that's what's going on right now. We're gonna get into Moab the town, buy a whole bunch of fuses, and then try to get this thing on flat roads back on I-70, head back to Colorado, make it back home. And then we're going to just get it in the shop and have it really looked over, get everything taken care of. And we're not going to hit a trail until we know we're good to go, because we got to not keep breaking down. But we're going to show you some trail footage. We wanted to show you some off-roading footage, so we're going to do that. It's just going to be a little bit different. But we're going to sign off on this video showing you guys slightly different off-road footage. So check this out.